Okay. Um. Ooh. I'm sorry. So it's just all day they've been like focusing a lot of um light. Like the basically it's like the heat from the light. It's actually like cooking. Like it's basically heating the cells of the brain. And what's happening is when they're heating the cells of the brain, what that pressure that people tend to feel that in their head and whatnot, um, I believe is basically oxygen. I think it's oxygen basically escaping from the cells, and then that's the pressure that builds up in our head in a sense. And a lot of times, what I would learn, so what I'm doing when I'm like opening my mouth like that, especially when I move my tongue to like the left, it's like I feel the pressure release, but then at the same time as I'm like it's like the pressure releases, but as I'm releasing the pressure, something is coming like air or some like air. I think it's oxygen because the brain needs oxygen in order to function. So basically, it's like it comes down the side and then it escapes through. I think there's like a hole or like a gland or opening somewhere here, and then it comes out through the mouth. That's at least when they're attacking the head. When they're attacking the chest, you can pull that out of the body like that. So a lot of this, I realized, a lot of this is definitely dealing with basically snatching oxygen away from the body. Um, because if you're going to use near infrared light to basically, because all right, some of the studies that I've been seeing about photo biomodulation mostly deals with it mentions the use of a near infrared light and special oxidative oxidative states or something about oxidation. So if you're thinking about healing people, right? You're using the light itself to basically find a particular um, frequency to that can actually restore or influence um, the cells to heal on their own. But then I'm also thinking you can use that same near infrared light to basically transfer, may possibly transfer more oxygen to particular parts of the brain or particular parts of the body. But what they're doing is the opposite. They have flipped. They're basically doing the opposite. So what they're doing is they're increasing the amplification of a frequency, and they're increasing the amount of energy that's being transmitted into the brain, which is basically heating the cells. And as the cells heat, the cells begin to split, and then all of the molecular on a molecular level, the oxygen, the hydrogen or carbon, whatever, all those different gases that are in the brain, they're now splitting, and as they split, it builds up like a pressure in the brain. Right now, there's like a very, very concentrated spot that's like right here. Is right here. I mean, obviously you can't see because this is not a near infrared. I wonder. There was this guy. He has a video online where he actually exposes the many multiple little tiny lasers that are in like the facial recognition camera of our phone. Where he took a night vision camera. He took a night vision camera and was facing it against him. Like, yeah, he was facing the night vision camera against him. Then, when he turned the facial recognition device on, he faced the camera or the sensor towards the night vision camera, and you see the light. Remember, the facial recognition camera doesn't give off a light because it's a part of that near infrared spectrum. We can't see near infrared, or at least us who are still human. Um, we can't see near infrared. So, um, but when he turned the camera or the sensor towards the wall that the night vision camera was facing, you then see this crazy pattern of dozens and dozens and dozens of tiny little sensors, tiny little lights that basically were well, they're basically like sensors. And when you think about what a facial recognition camera does, and all those little tiny lasers, it basically picks up on every little indentation um, on your face. It picks up every little indentation. Now, as I'm saying this, they're heterodyning right now. Now, I told you all before, when you get that ringing sound, when you start to get that ringing sound, if you want to know what it feels like to relieve yourself of some head pressure, because remember they're constantly jamming frequencies into your ears, right? What you can do it's going to seem weird at first, but you basically take your fingers like just like this, right, like right above where the opening of your ear canal is, and you pinch right in front of your ear canal, and then you pull away from the body. This is how you know that you are connected to something that's not supposed to be connected to you. If you start to pull, if you pinch by your ear canal and you pull away from your body and you feel something is being pulled away from your body, remember, your spiritual aura is a part of you. You won't be pulling your spiritual aura away from you. You won't be pulling your own energy away from you because your energy is already like it's coming from you. You know, it's glowing off of you. What you are pulling away from you is them basically beaming this this scalar energy, this near infrared light that's basically, I mean, it really is scalar energy because, like I said, if you've read the documents or you looked up scalar energy is the use of two different like transmitters, or I guess you could call it like lights, two different lights that basically converge on one thing, and then when it converges, right, it basically creates like a bubble around it. It creates a bubble around the target. Then what it does is it basically creates like a magnet. It increases like the magnetism for, I guess, like positively charged particles or negatively charged particles. They can either um, add more energy to whatever's in that bubble, or they can subtract energy from whatever's inside that bubble. But as long as as long as you're encased in that scalar energy, you're encased in that bubble, they can either add more energy to you or subtract energy from you. Um, And the thing about it is, what I'm trying to figure out is the bubble. Is it created from? Because I'm like, like I would think that for a satellite, it's way too many people for everyone to just be tracked by a satellite. So I'm thinking to myself, are the satellites just planting those unknown carrier cell towers, those digital cell towers? Because the digital cell towers are what you know create that blooming effect that basically can cover such a wide range of space. So if you're inside of a bubble of the digital cell tower, if you're inside of that data bubble, then they already then also because we got the smart dust and nano dust and stuff in us. Um, when we step into one of those digital cell towers, those cell towers are reading our frequencies. That's why I want to try going to like a remote location where there's like no electricity, hardly any cell service, or no cell service at all. And I want to try this out. I want to see what it would feel like. Then some people also said that um, in order to truly escape, possibly escape, this, you need to either go deep inside of a cave, or you need to go like several, feet underwater. Um, but I don't know. Let me see. But yeah, I'm just like trying to get myself calibrated because today was hot. Um, and it was a trying day because oh yeah, I want to mention that too. So on my first route of the day, I caught a flat tire. Well, I caught a flat tire when I came back to get myself another route. Then on the second route, um, on the second route, let me see what happened. On the second route, what happened with the second route? I can't even remember what happened with the second route because I know with the yeah, I can't even remember what happened with the second route. I think I was okay with the second route. I don't even remember. Yeah, that's how much they've been like really like hitting my head today. And remember, they have lights, they have the lasers, the near infrared lasers focused on your memory cortexes here. So basically, what they can do is, remember, your memory is basically a series of neurons, transmitting. Memory is saved as frequency or electrical impulses, or electrical impulses, right? What they can basically do is with this near infrared laser is they can basically um, turn off or possibly block the neurons from firing, so that you can't actually, so that one neuron can't receive the information from the other, which basically makes you feel like you have like a memory fog or a memory block. That's usually kind of, I think that's really what that means when someone's like, I can't remember, and it's like it's right there. That's because most of the time the neurons aren't firing and like sending and receiving like the way they're supposed to. Like it's like one neuron would basically have the information and is trying to send it, but for whatever reason, something over this neuron or something in the middle, that synapses, there's something blocking or causing an interference. Um, Let me see. Um, I started doing this detox thing that I seen YouTuber Primal Hacker had put up. Now the strange thing is he's had this video up for like over a year. And then suddenly when I finally decided that I was going to actually when I decided to buy the ingredients when I decided to buy the ingredients to make the detox, the heavy metal and pineal gland decalcifier, the heavy metal detox and pineal gland decalcifier. All of a sudden, the video is gone, and I'm okay, I wanted to make sure that I had everything, everything I needed. So I went to go and look for the video, and it's gone. Like the only video he has on his channel now is um basically his reaction video of what he experienced after taking it, taking the detox for about like 2 weeks or so. No, it was like a few weeks. He said. So, but I think I remember for the most part. I think I got just about everything that he said to get. The borax, the activated charcoal, the what was it, borax, activated charcoal, the liquid iodine, and he had apple cider vinegar. I don't have that, but I think he said that's optional. And I'm trying to remember if he also included baking soda, but I feel like he did, but I can't remember if it was a part of it too. Because I know I use baking soda for the radiation detox bath, the radiation detox salt bath. That's just sea salt and baking soda, a pound of each basically, or more or less depending on the size of your tub. Um, but yeah, and to explain it even more is in Qigong, they say when you're learning how to understand the energy around your body, you can create like a cup. It's like you create a cup in your hand and you start to generate like your hand basically become like its own magnet. And then when you're doing this, you're basically pulling. It's like you're pulling any energy that's not a part of your body away from you. And then it pulls into your hand. Now, while I'm doing this, it's pulling energy from here, and then when I move it towards the back, it starts pulling energy from back here. All of that is the energy that's coming from their near infrared lasers, and it is always gone. It's always coming from an angle like over here. I turned my phone off, but let me see. Let me turn it back on for a second. Give it a minute. So I'm still waiting on my portable charger. Um, and then I was talking to my neighbor about noticing the increase in radiation that I've been picking up on my detector in 30%. Okay. I can't wait till I get my portable charger so I can stop like turning my phone off just to charge the phone. They've basically fried every single iPhone charging cable that I've had, so I can't like it's hard to just like charge my phone like regular people. I have to turn my phone off in order for the phone to charge. They just hit me with a frequency like somewhere right here. So now like when I'm doing that, this also creates like a it's almost like a suction pump. It's like when I'm doing this and I feel the initial contact of the frequency wave make like it make contact with my fingers and I start to do this, it then creates like a suction pump, like it's pulling the frequency away from my body even more, right? And then I can even pinch, right? I could pinch it and pull it further away from the body. And I notice like when I hold a frequency and I move it around at times, it starts to almost take up like other frequencies that are around me. So like if I pinched it right and then I flip it, it almost starts to become like a vacuum for other frequencies. Like it pulls other frequencies away from the body, which is strange, and I still don't understand it. But is I'm just only explaining what I feel. Um, I'm not a physicist. I never took physics a day in my life. Um, but I think uh, hmm, I'm listening. I'm listening to the handler, so they're like, I think they're more mad at the fact that I'm a lot smarter than they thought I was going to be, and I think they're a lot more mad because they thought I was going to just be because their original thought was like they thought that I was going to be scared and just like I was just going to give in and just go ahead and follow everybody else, but I guess not. And then when I actually started I said started started showing resistance, one of the girls, one of the women, she goes, remember it's two women and two men. That's on my the body area network. Um, she goes, he's not a real Pisces, and I'm just like, before I say this, I'm not inciting anything. I'm not promoting anything. I'm just saying this based off of what I've researched and found online, which is actually a list that you can look up. It's like basically there's a list online of like um 10 of America's like worst serial killers um and their zodiac signs. Four of them are Pisces. And I just think to myself, and I'm like, see, and everybody who's known me for like my entire life, even if you met me for the first time, I'm literally probably like one of the most chillest, coolest people that you will ever meet. But no one has ever seen me really get mad. Like only a very, very small few people have ever seen me get mad. And it's like basically what they're doing is because they're already at that level, because they're already at that lower frequency level, they get enjoyment, they get entertainment from seeing people reach that level where they're at, or even go lower than where they are. They get entertainment out of seeing people become serial killers. They get entertainment out of seeing people become, mass shooters and bombers and rapists and murderers and child abductors and molesters and sex offenders and all. They get enjoyment out of. And look, I'm getting chills. Look, I just got. That's how I know God is God wants me to say this. They get enjoyment out of seeing people become these things. Think about think about it like this. They have the capabilities of healing every single person in this world from becoming everything that's wrong with the world. But instead, what are they doing? They are taking this and making it entertainment on the internet. It's like the red rooms. It's like dark web entertainment. They basically are using the technology that's supposed to be meant to help people. They're using the technology to do the reverse. They're taking people who are perfectly fine, perfectly normal people, people who don't really do anything wrong to society. They're genuine people. They're honest people. They're people with morals and everything that's supposed to be right in the world. They're taking all of those people and they're trying to flip them. Like it's like when I think of Myron May, I think he was a prosecutor or some type of attorney, but I know he wasn't. I don't think he was much of a defense. I don't think he was a defense attorney. But think of Myron May. He was a genuinely good dude, married, had a daughter. He was pretty much well known in his community. Really nice dude. Then all of a sudden he started getting targeted. Then they started doing all this stuff to gaslight him. They started hmm, they started manipulating his mind and then then threatening his wife and child. So then I guess I hate the fact that he took the route that he did. He didn't necessarily kill himself, but he created a situation for police so that they can kill him. Suicide by police or suicide by cops or something like that. I forgot how it goes. And basically, what they're doing is they're trying to do the same to all of us. All of us who are TIs or ETIs, empowered targeted individuals, because we are empowered by God or whatever you would like to call him, or him or her, to actually be morally sound human beings. Not just human beings, but spiritual beings. We are basically we're the ones who are truly grounded and and we're the ones who are meant to basically keep the light of God in this world because there's so much darkness. There's so much darkness and everyone is being flipped one by one, flipped, flipped. It's like there's hardly anyone willing to actually stand up and say, no, this is wrong. I'm not doing this. And the one thing that really scares people the most is losing access to things. And that's one of the things that I caught on to in the beginning is like basically they're like, oh, when it first started it was mostly like a lot of um electronic manipulation. Then it started really focusing more towards, oh, your privacy is over. No more privacy for you. Your superpowers are gone. No more superpowers for you. So it was like they basically started stripping away all the things that are, when you think about it, worldly things. So what do they try to do? They try to strip you away from resources. They try to strip you away. They try to strip you away from all the things that are of the world. And God in the Bible actually tells you, do not, he repeats, or I repeat, do not allow yourself to become like dependent on things of the world. Because the things of the world are not going to be able to sustain you for what is going to come for you. When God chooses you to represent him on earth, when God chooses you to represent the light of everything that's good on earth, you will meet so much animosity. You will find out that you have enemies that you ain't never realized that you had. And the reason for that is because Baphomet, Lucifer, Azazel, all of them, they all have different people that they've already tapped into and made exchanges with. We'll give you these things if you just do this. You know, and that's what it is. It's like everyone's a devil's advocate until you find the one who's actually suffering. The one who is suffering the one who is actually suffering, not the one who's out there doing messed up things and they're mad because they got caught, or mad because, things aren't going their way, or mad because, somebody actually defended themselves against their narcissism. You know, it's like we are truly God's chosen children. Well, like we, I don't know if we're descendants of the 12 tribes or anything like that, but we must be. um, but yeah, I got most of that, but there's still so much there. I think I really just need to go ahead and build a helmet. Cause it's like, oh wait, I was supposed to. So okay, above the head, trying to find where most of the concentration is coming from. The main insertion comes straight down because they have the pineal gland. They have the pineal gland like basically captive. Hmm. Okay, so radiation. Yeah, then there's all these so-called bright satellites. All right. Okay. Let me see if this will work. Okay, you can see it. Okay. So, so, see this flip. Yeah, I was doing it from I was taking a video from my laptop because I was trying to let my phone charge. So yeah, the angle from where I'm getting most of the energy is coming from. So that's Sirius 2. That satellite is supposed to be in a junkyard orbit. I don't know if it is, but let's see where else. And then there's these different satellites that are like in the same area where I'm getting the energy from. Um, I don't think it's the navigation satellites. But anyway, it's some satellites up there that says like assorted bright, like it's there's some satellites up there called bright satellites. Then you have um then you have like miscellaneous scientific, but some of them are like owned by different countries. So like you got Russia has some bright satellites. Then you have China has bright satellites, and then the United States have like miscellaneous scientific satellites. But the ones that kind of always seem like they're in the position is the like the Sirius 1, 2, and 3 satellites. Um, they're under communications and Intelsat. Um, and if you go to like a satellite finder and you try to look up these satellites, they all say that they're basically, they all say, like, all the information you'll find about Sirius 1, 2, and 3 is that they're supposed to be, not working. They're supposed to be not functioning. They're supposed to be, you know, in the junkyard orbit, not being used at all. You're like there shouldn't be any type of data or or anything coming from those satellites, but apparently there is. So you know what? I hope, I really hope what God's master plan is to use the sun to basically destroy every single satellite that's up there. Yes, I know it will affect much of our lives in many ways that we can't even imagine. But you know what? If you've listened to what God has been telling us for centuries, do not allow yourself to be dependent or to become dependent and worship things that are of the world, these worldly things that man creates. We will still survive no matter what. We will still survive. Those who don't, those who can't, separate themselves from, all these like worldly things, they're the ones who's basically going to, they're the ones who's basically going to feel the blunt and the trauma of losing out on so much. Like me, I've already experienced so much in my life, right? And at the same time, God has kept me from so much, in a good way. God has kept me from so much in a good way, and God has, allowed me to, be among people who are, you know, living certain lifestyles and whatnot, then I got to see certain lifestyles and be around them and whatnot. But then there are certain things where, like, even some of the people who I grew up knowing, they all was like, yo, you don't want to do any of this, just keep being you. This ain't the type of stuff you want to be in. So it's like, all right, because I always tell people, like, I'm literally just a few good people away from have being in anybody else's shoes. That can be pretty much be said for any human being on this planet. You were literally just a few good people away from being in someone else's shoes. Um, and it's not necessarily like saying, it's not like talking bad about anybody. It's just some people just didn't have enough influence in their lives. Some people just didn't have enough influence in their lives. But what they're doing is 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 sick. Is sick what they're doing. They're basically, because it's like saying, because I grew up the way that I did, I don't want nobody calling me a dummy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get myself an education, and then I'm gonna use my education to get even on everybody who's trying to think bad about me. And somewhere I forgot where I heard it, but they said an educated fool is still a fool. So yeah, I don't believe in hive mind mentalities. I believe in morality. I believe in doing the right thing. Maybe not all the time, but you at least, when you decide to do something wrong, you at least don't want to be destroying someone else's life in the process. If you're going to do something bad, it should mostly just only affect you in a sense. But when you really think about it, nothing just only affects you. But yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna go and take my shower. Gotta listen to the anti nanobot video while I shower, and I gotta drink my detox stuff, and hopefully I won't feel as much of this light penetrating my skull. Oh, yeah. And it's like when I do this, it's almost as if like so on these two fingers here, it's like there it's so weird to explain it because it's almost as if like there's like a tube or like a cone of like energy and I stuck my hand in it, right? And it's like cuz like here there's a density in the air over here. Then when I flip it and rotate it, it's almost like it rounds out. Like it rounds out. You'd have like I kid you not, start learning about qigong and you start practicing with something as small as like creating your own energy bubble. When you start creating your own energy bubble, you start to feel like you pull, right? And then you bring it back together, but then you start to feel like that presence of like something trying to push your hands away from each other. That is energy. So it's like just think about it. If you can do that, if you can create an energy ball, just imagine what you can do just by, you know, this little motion here basically created a streamline for energy to go up rather than it coming down only. I just created a streamline of energy to go upwards. And now it's actually sitting at the fingertips of my right hand. And then I can bring it over to the side, and then I'll bring it in front of me. And then here, it's all sitting right here. It's all sitting right here. Now there's still energy attached to my head. There's still energy there, but there's some that's sitting here too. And then when I'm done with it, I just basically flick it off. Now, funny thing is, what I learned is when I flick it off like that, the energies they go like that, but there's still a concentration of energy still coming down. I guess that's the frequency resonance. Like you can fling it off somewhere, but because they have your body's resonant frequency and they have your pineal gland, it just basically comes right back. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Today did I say everything that I wanted? Oh, right. Before I get so today, which is a rarity, I was assigned for the second straight day a route that was missing a package, right? And then when I tried to call Amazon driver support to, inform them that, hey, I just got a route and this route, one of the addresses is missing a package. So, like I told you, what they're supposed to do is they ask you your name or your email address, and then they ask you, okay, what region you're in, are you, what type of delivery person are you? Then they ask you, okay, what's the address that you're looking for, and then if you have the last four barcode numbers of that package that you're missing. They basically go into the system, find that package, and remove it. Boom. Now you can scan the rest of your packages um, until completion, and then you just go and deliver. Now, today, what happens is I called Amazon driver support, and I took the screenshot of the package that was missing, the four codes. I called Amazon, and I basically um, I got disconnected twice. I don't know how I would get disconnected twice from Amazon driver support when I'm standing outside. This is New York City, so T-Mobile is strong in New York City. So I said, all right. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I went into the app and I found the like you can go into the app and you can find the like if the package, let's say I have the package and the barcode is messed up. You can't necessarily scan it, and possibly the numbers on the bottom of the package are kind of messed up, but you can see some of the numbers. You can go through the app, click on the address, go through the help section of the app, click on the address, and then copy and paste the full barcode, the full barcode number of the package that you're missing, and then paste it into the manually enter a package number section. And then you hit confirm, boom, it'll basically scan the package. Now the problem with doing it the way I did it between today and yesterday is when you do that, it's like confirming that you have the package, right? Now, um, luckily for me, I've been taking screenshots and pictures to make sure that, like, um, just to show them that, like, hey, I'm I'm over here scanning all my packages and I can't find the package. So I took a screenshot of it, right? Now, what usually basically what I do is I copied and pasted the barcode, put it into manually enter package ID, and then once it says you can swipe to finish, meaning you've scanned all your packages, I would then click on the address. I haven't moved from the truck site, so this should actually pop up in their system that I'm still at the site where I picked up the packages. And then I went to the package, the address of the package that's missing in the app. Click on the address, and then I go through the help section, and then I go to what is it? Unable to deliver, or it's either unable to deliver or return package or something like that. And then you click miss package is missing. Select the one that select the barcode of the one that was basically missing, and boom, it's taken off. So I basically manually did it for myself, but in a sense, it kind of can go back on me in a wrong way, because basically, like, if it becomes a pattern where I'm always getting a route that's missing a package, and if I can't get driver support to do what they're supposed to do, then it's basically going to make it seem like, am I stealing a package a day? So, but I'm not necessarily stealing anything. I don't have to. I make too much money to steal. Um, and me personally, I don't really want that much stuff for me to actually really want to steal like that. But anyway, um, I wonder if my mic is sensitive enough to hear them. Um, but anyway, yeah. So that's pretty much it for today. Um, unless something else starts up, So I don't know, if I get assigned another route that's missing a package tomorrow, I'm definitely gonna call suspicion, because I'm gonna be like, That's very rare to have 2 straight days where you're missing a package off of a route. Yeah. Anyway, as always, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time.